Well, welcome to this very short gesture study stream just because I need to do art. So, guess what? I'm here to do my gesture studies. I can't English apparently. I apologize for that. But sorry. Let me just edit the title real fast. There we go. Okay. So, sorry, I'm brain lagging. Sorry, give me a second. So, to celebrate the fact that Spider-Man 2 actually released, I don't know, was it a week ago? I think it was a week ago that Spider-Man actually released. So, to celebrate the fact that Spider-Man actually released a week ago, that Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, actually released a week ago, I think I'm gonna try and do a couple of gesture studies for Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man, or Venom, or whatever, Miles Morales Spider-Man, just because I think that they have some really interesting poses. So I think, let's go ahead. My mic is in my face, so it's kind of hard to see some stuff sometimes, but how do I do gesture studies? Because I don't want to do something that's like too tiny too, right? Also, it's kind of funny because I'm also listening to another stream too at the same time, so this is going to be very interesting. How do I do a gesture study? So people say like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do sketch lines, but unfortunately for them, I'm not skilled enough to do any other type of thing. So it kind of dips down over here, right? This is where the center is, and then it sort of goes over here, right? And then you sort of have to do another complete circle to sort of do the face, right? Because obviously the eyes are around like here, and then it goes around like here. I think I made the head a bit too small. I might need to expand the head just a bit, but again, this is just like a gesture study. Okay, so I'm going to do the corrections a bit thicker. Hold up. God, it's gonna suck. I'm so not used to this. Okay, corrections a bit thicker, so I'm gonna need to do... Oh, God. I am struggling so badly with this. I'm going to elongate the back of the skull just a bit. This is actually pretty... This one was actually pretty decent, so I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to pull this back a bit. Also, it's kind of funny because I looked at the FNAF stream from like not yesterday, but was it yesterday? I'm mixed up for all of my timelines at this point. I looked at the FNAF stream from yesterday. I was like, damn, I was kind of I sounded more energetic back then. I wonder what happened. And I realized, oh, it's probably because I played like a game that was like part of my, not really part of my childhood, but something that I didn't play for for a very long time, so it's just kind of missing it. I don't know, I kind of got like nostalgic for it. Weirdly enough, even though I never played FNAF. So naturally, God, this is so scuff. But I think that gesture studies are supposed to be scuff. Doesn't help that I'm rotating my canvas, right? Because I'm dumb. Not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to position it a bit lower, right? Because it's tilted at an angle. Because he's swinging, right? He's web swinging, so you just wanna have this like kind of drop down, like so. His shoulder goes a bit here. God, it's gonna be so scuffed. I'm so sorry for anyone watching this and they're just like, wow, this is so bad. So the shoulder goes about here. I probably shouldn't sketch. Like, I know this is like a study, but you shouldn't sketch your studies. But too bad, I don't have the skills to not sketch my stuff during a study. So I shall study by sketching. So that's his tricep, right? His tricep. So his tricep kind of goes elevated a bit, right? So it kind of goes elevated here. Nope, too much. God, I also shouldn't delete. I also should time my studies. God, I'm a mess. I'm such a mess at doing anything. God, okay. So the triceps kind of go. No, that's not the triceps. This was his neck, and then you have his shoulder. So he had his shoulder that sort of goes. Sorry, I'm trying to anatomy myself too, right? So you have the shoulder that goes like this. So you have the shoulder that goes like this because I don't know, muscles. Right, like so. So it kind of goes. So the tricep kind of goes like here, right? So it sort of stems from there. I'm gonna need to simplify. I'm gonna need to simplify so much stuff. Not raised enough. I think that's my fault. I goofed. Crap. Okay. How am I gonna do this? God, why am I erasing? I shouldn't erase when I'm doing studies, but that's fine. That's fine. No one will know. muted this entire time. Oh man. Yeah, I just realized I was muted this entire time. Not that I was like muted throughout the entire process, but still. It was that's annoying. I just realized that I still had the mute button on for my Streamlabs. How long was I muted for? Damn. My incompetence is surprising. Like it genuinely is. I'm thoroughly shocked that I am able to stream at this point. Man. Whatever. Good enough. You know what? Better late than never, I guess. I'm gonna need to look back at the VOD and check how long I've been muted for, because that's not good. Not very good whatsoever. So here, alright, Peter Parker looking man. So we're gonna have this. He's gonna be facing a lot more forward. So he's gonna have this up over here, right? I'm gonna need to make his head bigger, I feel. Yep, okay, we need to do this. Center line is about over here. And then we have this cutting into it. There we go. Oh, that's a jank angle. That's so jank. Okay, well, sort of cuts, his torso sort of cuts through. It's sort of flat with his face, even though I didn't draw the face well. I'm pretty sure I didn't draw the face at all. Whatever, it's good enough. So we have this, right? It sort of goes down in a decline, sort of. So we have this, and then we have his shoulder sticking out like so. So we have the shoulder. So because of the sort of the lens distortion, so it sort of goes like this, right? There we go. His arm is sort of, his torso sort of goes through like this. So then you have his pecs being like this, right? So it's sort of like, nope. Oof. This is way too tough. I went from difficulty 1 to like difficulty 11 in an instant. I'm also going to have to rely on these markings just a bit, because they indicate his relative like position, I would say. So no, that's way too close. Okay, hold up. I think I botched this entire section. Give me a second. That's rough. This is why I really admire people with a more painter-esque style, because they can sort of improvise as they go, which is something that I cannot do. So I'm gonna have to, which I have to always go back and make corrections and whatnot, because I'm just not skilled enough to sort of do art as I go on. So his head is sort of here. His pecs are sort of going into this, right? That does not make any sense. You're gonna have to stick with me for this. Actually, no, this, yeah, that makes sense. This makes sense because it sort of, whoops, that's the wrong place to be at. So it sort of goes like here, right? So that's, I'm drawing his markings right now because I gave up on just purely doing like this. This won't make much sense for now, but stick with me for now. Right, so you have this. His arm sort of goes like here, and it sort of cuts through his head. So you have the shoulder sort of behind his head, and then you have his bicep and arm over there. I'm gonna have to move this elsewhere, just because he's jank looking, but also he's impeding on my other gestures placement. You are too fat. Get out of my sight. There we go. Okay. So we have this, right? This looks. So he's not. You're not supposed to see. Crap. Hold up. Let me undo this. So you're not supposed to see his arm until you're. Crap. Okay. I figured what was wrong. Huh. So his arm is a lot more up, right? Because his bicep. Because you don't see his arm until his. You don't see his bicep from where because his head is sort of blocking it. Oh, that's hard. That's a hard angle. That's very hard as an angle. So his elbow is sort of like this, and then it sort of goes into this, right? And then you have the forearm going like this, upwards, like so. How am I botching this? There we go. There we go. Okay, nope. There we go. I think I made his arm too short. That's fine. Right, because we want it to be... Why is this so hard? I made a mistake of drawing his torso first. Hold on, let me extinction event this sketch, because no one will ever see him ever again. There we go. Okay, you guys didn't see that first one, and you guys also didn't see the fact that I was muted for the first for half the stream apparently. So this is tilted, not tilted necessarily, but still. Alright, I'm gonna have to draw this lower just because I know his arm is gonna be kind of tall. So we have his head over here, the top of his skull, and you have his face. His face sort of goes diagonal like this. Not like that. No, it's fine if I draw an oval. It's fine. Then you have the rest of his head over here. Then I have to sort of flatten it out over here, like so. Perfect. Not really perfect. It looks, what's with the long face kind of deal, right? So you have this, right? And then you have his elbow is sort of over here. His elbow is over here, right? Because you have his... No, it's way higher. Is it? No, it's not. Yeah, I think that should be about where his elbow is. Because you have this, right? Because you have his forearm just going here. Nope. So you have his forearm going like about here, right? Where his hand is sort of in a sort of fist. You're gonna have to forgive my very bad simplification tactics for this. So it's sort of like this, right? And then you have his arm going this way. If I can draw it, but apparently I can't, so right, so I drew fists so many times that I sort of know where everything sort of lines up now. So I should be about like here, I would say, right? And this is just an estimation, because why would I do anything but an estimation? There we go. Oh, hold up, it's sort of tilted off to the side. So it's sort of like this, right? And then he has like webs swinging by, right? which I'm not gonna draw because I'm too lazy for that. Why is his web curled in? I thought that, whatever, it's fine. There we go. Like so. And then you have his web sticking out over here. Okay, good enough. Not really. His head is kind of small because I think I drew his forearm a bit too big. I'm gonna need to make a correction for that. It's fine. Okay, how is this? This is such a weird angle for his torso because it sort of goes like this, and then his head just hides it for the rest of the image for some reason. It's like you just don't see his left side. That's weird. Whatever, not that I'm complaining, but because I do need practice for harder angles, but still. That's a weird angle, man. That's definitely a weird angle. Might be drawing a bit too small, but that's fine. Right, so over here it's smaller, and then you sort of want it to be bigger over here, right? And then you have the rest of the joint over here. What kind of weird angle is this? I really don't understand what angle this is. So it sort of goes like this. Oh, I see. Okay. Jeez. Jank, I say. Jank. Absolutely jank. Never seen anything like this before. Okay, so we have this, which is fine. So he's obviously the wrist. Apparently, apparently the Spider-Man position where he just whips his webs out. Apparently, when that happens, it's not viable because you can't really bend your wrist that much for your while your middle and ring finger is bent that much. So apparently that's like anatomically incorrect or something. But hey, comic book logic. What do I know? Right, so we have this over here. Also, this can be spoilers alert for anyone who wants to experience the. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. But I've been a pretty big fan of Spider-Man for quite a while, I would say. He's not my favorite Marvel hero, I would say. And there's like a fair bit, I would say, who I think are better. Not better, but you know what I mean. Who I think would who I prefer over Spider-Man as a character. Not that Spider-Man's like a bad character, but it's just like, I don't know. I think that's like some of the other characters are just, I don't know, I just sort of prefer some of the other characters more than like Spider-Man. Not that, again, I like Spider-Man, but I like reading comics. But with the way that Marvel has been treating Spider-Man recently, it has been horrible at being a Spider-Man fan. And I say that like very legitimately. Like, he has been treated absolutely horribly by Marvel editorial recently. Like, I don't know what they're doing with Spider-Man, but it is horrible. Like, how should I explain this? So, a couple of years back, hi, how's it going? Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your message. I was sort of concentrated on drawing. But yeah, thanks for the message. Yeah. And yeah, thanks for the encouragement. Yeah. probably been a while because I don't see the message on my Streamlabs, so it's probably been a while. But yeah, Spider-Man. Okay, so a couple of years back, DC introduced a Spider-Man, not a Spider-Man, God, but a Batman and a Joker hybrid called the Joker Batman Who Laughs, and that was like a big thing for a while. That was like the Dark Multiverse or something along those lines. I think I made his hand too big. I definitely made his hand too big. It's fine. It's the angle. Definitely just the angle that makes sense, right? But yeah, a couple of years back, they introduced a villain called the Batman Who Laughs, and he's been a pretty big character. And then, come 2023, Marvel decided to. God, where have I been? Okay, so in the comics, you know how Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin, right? So the Green Goblin was transformed by a serum, right? Obviously. So that serum, the Goblin serum, apparently no longer affected him ever since he became the Gold Goblin. I don't remember what his name was, but ever since that happened, he's just sort of been good. He's been trying to atone for his sins and whatnot. But then Kraven the Hunter was like, "Yeah, nah, fam, you gotta become evil again because why? Because screw you. You can't be happy. Why should you be able to be happy, right?" So Kraven the Hunter was like, "All right, Osborn, since the Goblin serum doesn't work on you, I'm going to inject you with all the sins of Norman Osborn, of the Green Goblin rather, of the time when you were the Green Goblin, and as a result, you're going to turn back into the Green Goblin." And then, guess what? Peter took the blow for him. So now he's infested or infected with the very ever so popular Goblin personality, I guess. So now he's laughing and he's wearing a black suit. So he's basically Marvel's version of the Batman Who Laughs. Why? I don't know, because friggin' comics, and then Spider-Man got cucked for some reason. I'll explain it. For some reason, like Mary Jane spent like 5 years in a different dimension with a guy named Paul, and then she decided to live with him for some reason. I don't know. It was really sad too. It's because they tried. Okay, so the previous Spider-Man run, they tried fixing a lot of the problems of Spider-Man, including why Spider-Man wasn't married, some of the other Spider-Man lore stuff, including like that one horrible time Gwen Stacy got pregnant with Norman Osborn's children because comics apparently. But that was a thing. So the previous run tried fixing a lot of those problems with a character called Kindred. So they tried rectifying some of those with One More Day, with the Sins Past or whatever it's called. I don't remember what that run was called. That horrible run where Gwen Stacy got pregnant with Norman Osborn's twins. Whoever thought of that storyline should go to jail, but that's besides the point. So apparently that was the thing. But the previous run rectified a lot of those problems. And I mean a lot. Like, those twins didn't become, like, biological, like, twins anymore. Or those were, like, clones, rather. Because Spider-Man and clones are basically synonymous at this point. But they tried rectifying a lot of problems, which I think was really cool. And then this run, this run, they introduced so many new problems that I don't even know where to begin. Because it is legitimately infuriating as like a Spider-Man. I'm not even like necessarily a Spider-Man fan, but I'm just like a comic book fan, right? Because I like stories. But that run has been legitimately annoying to read through. Because why even go through all the trouble of fixing the previous runs' problems if you're just going to create more problems? There's this very annoying thing about comics, and that is they keep on insisting on maintaining the status quo, which I hate. Right? Characters are supposed to grow, they're supposed to evolve, they're supposed to mature as people, right? That makes them less relatable to the audience members than letting them grow, right? If they just stagnate, that's just depressing. Why would anyone ever stagnate? I don't know, ask Marvel Editorial. But it has just been very, very frustrating as an experience to just have them not make like any progress whatsoever with Spider-Man. It's depressing, I'm gonna be honest. Right, so it sort of goes in over here. What the frick? This anorexic ass Spider-Man apparently. Oh god. I'm getting so messed up over here. What is going on? Right, because this waist is like here. And then it sort of goes in. I think I made him a bit too long. That's fine. That's not anatomically correct, but that's fine. And then goes into here, right? And sort of goes here. Oh, no, it's supposed to be like more this. Okay, yeah. Good enough, apparently. Not exactly perfect. The back in general, yeah, I definitely made his back a bit too long. So I want to maybe reduce it by like here, right? So I'm going to separate these two. And I should have drawn them on different layers. Definitely should have. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna need to do a couple of digital illustration mumbo jumbo real fast. There we go. But yeah, a comic book character that I recently, well, not recently, but that I discovered like I had like a pretty big fondness for is Magneto. So recently Magneto, well, Marvel has been slaying it with Magneto. Like, he has been phenomenal as a character. And honestly, he has been pretty like well buffed. I'm gonna be honest. In recent publication history, like, he has been. I think he's an Omega level mutant now. Like, I think before he was pretty unremarkable, but I think that recent stories have really buffed him as a whole, like, for power sets, which is cool. But yeah, I think that Magneto recently has been they've been knocking out of the park with him. Like, he's been phenomenal. One of the examples would be AXE, which is the Avengers X-Men Eternals crossover event, which I think was pretty decent. I think there was quite a lot of good stuff about that event. There was also some jank stuff about the event, but for the most part, I kind of like Judgment Day, AXE Judgment Day. Like, for the most part, it's been pretty good. But that's the ankle. Don't ask. But one of the things about Judgment Day, which I think was really cool, was Uranos, who was I don't remember, was he like Thanos' uncle or like granduncle or something along those lines? But Uranos was a recent character in the Eternals mythos, I believe. So that was a thing apparently. So he's been a pretty recent thing, but one of the things that he did was that he just arrived in Krakoa, which was a planet, which was Mars, but the mutants actually terraformed it, or Mars formed it, or whatever the proper terminology is. But they turned into their own like planet, just because humans refused to like accept them, right, repeatedly over the past like 100 years as like their own species, right? So Krakoa is a thing, and then Uranos just arrives on Krakoa and starts wrecking havoc. Like there's a mutant by the name of Legion, who is I believe above Omega mutant, who's the son of Xavier. What is it? Charles Xavier? Yeah, Charles Xavier. So Professor X. So he was his son. And what Legion can do is that obviously he's like above Omega, but Legion has a fractured mind. So his mind is fractured into multiple different pieces, and he basically has like a very broken, like he has multiple personalities, right? But each of those personalities have their own power set, which is what makes him, so he's sort of like Moon Knight, but but with a larger variety of powers rather than skill sets, right? Because Moon Knight, he has like different personalities, and for each of those personalities he has different skills that are meant for different environments, right? So Jake Locke was a taxi driver, I believe, and whatnot. And he also has a personality for Captain America, for Spider-Man, for Wolverine, and depending on which personality takes over, that's whose fighting style that he'll use, right? But Legion does not have is not fighting style based. He's legitimately like power based, right? Power set based. So Legion does that, but so I mean he was pretty evenly matched with Uranos, Legion. Actually, there was a TV show with Legion, so that's pretty cool. I think it was like decently received, so yeah. But anyways, Uranos, I think Uranos beat, like the fact that Uranos beats a above Omega like mutant is like insane. Like that just tells you just how powerful Uranos is, right? But obviously he need to like trick Legion into doing some, like he need to convince Legion, like, is your father really worth fighting for? Like that's like his ideals aren't your ideals and whatnot, right? So there's that nonsense that Uranos need to pull to win against Legion. But yeah, I mean he still beat him, so that's, I mean that says a lot about Uranos, right? And then another very powerful mutant that Uranos actually beats is Magneto. Which if you, well again I said like Magneto was above, well not above but Omega level. And so Uranos arrives, and I think he beats like Magneto in like 10 seconds. Like there was one of the great things that I love about Judgment Day was a countdown. Oh yeah, Uranus arrives in Krakoa this time, and then they're like, Magneto falls this time, and you're like, oh, Magneto didn't stand a chance. Like, he got wrecked instantly. Like it, and I think that just sort of tells you the severity of this situation, right? And then Magneto got his heart like ripped out by Uranus, which is metal as hell, right? But that leads me into one of my favorite Magneto moments in recent times, and that is the fact that Magneto straight up, with his power over magnetism, with his power over magnetism. So I know if you guys have seen like the the X-Men movie. But Magneto straight up like controls the iron in his blood to keep his heart pumping, to keep living. Like, that is such a metal, not in his heart, because his heart got ripped out, but he uses the iron in his blood to keep it circulating, which is freaking, like, that is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen Magneto, out of all people, do. Like, that is so cool. But yeah, that was one of the moments I was like, oh, Magneto's built different. Like, wow. That's legitimately so cool. Okay. But yeah. But of course Magneto dies after like because he was like burning through his power just to make sure that he survives to beat up Uranus, right? So after like his power wears off, he dies. And of course, because comic book status quo, he's revived again, because yay, after the Orchis stuff, they're like, yeah, sure, Magneto's alive again. Yay, Magneto, or something, right? Which is fine, I guess. So dumb though. Sorry. But yeah, Magneto recently, phenomenal character. And I think, like, what I love about Magneto is that he sort of keeps the mutants at their core were like a allegory for like racism, right? Because they were never meant to be accepted into humanity or whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, obviously, if you read comics, or if you study comics long enough, you know that Charles Xavier was meant to be the equivalent to Martin Luther King, who took like a peaceful approach, who took the just the peaceful protest approach, right? Just try to talk things out. While Magneto was meant to represent Malcolm X, who took things more to an extreme just for equality, right? And that's what Magneto was supposed to be. So honestly, like, I think symbolism wise, they've been doing pretty well. But obviously recent times, like, they've been pretty united, I would say, in terms of what they like their goals are, because finally mutant kind has a home, so yay, or something, right? Oh man, I just realized I've been drawing nonsense. So his shoulder sort of goes in like this. And it's not that it goes in like that, but it's sort of like this. So it sort of goes in like this. God, this is gonna be so bad. so bad. So his center line sort of goes like this, right? So you have this waist over here, right? So he sort of twists around over here, and you have his waist over here, right? That's bad. That's bad enough. Alright, well. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for today. I think I've done enough studies, I think, for today. I did like 2 studies. I really need to time my studies because apparently like 15-second studies, 30-minute studies, 10-minute studies, apparently you have to alternate between those for it to be like somewhat effective. But you know, that's what it is. That do be what it is. So how do I rate someone? Okay. Can I do this? Okay, sorry. Let me do this. This is gonna be so jank because I've never done this before. Give me a second. Okay, how's it gonna go? Okay. How am I supposed to do this? We're gonna raid a VTuber, unfortunately for you. But you know, she's a friend. She likes drawing as much as I do, so yeah. So we're gonna raid her. Okay. Does this work? Sorry. Alright, I think this is good, possibly. Alright. Yes I will. Alright, see ya. And have a good one, guys. Take care.